Welcome. We are standing at a fascinating crossroads in the world of work. The year is 2026, and the ground beneath our feet is shifting. Fast. I want to share 10 bold predictions with you. These are not wild guesses pulled from thin air. Oh no, not at all. They are born from careful research and from what we are seeing in real, successful companies. This moment is critical. The choices leaders make right now will decide if their organizations thrive or merely survive in the years ahead. It is a time for brave decisions, not for hiding under the desk and hoping it all blows over. The old ways simply will not do anymore. You might be thinking, another article about the future of work. I get it, but this is different. We are not just talking about vague concepts. We are talking about practical, tangible shifts. The pandemic years were a massive shock to the system. They forced us to experiment. Now the experiments are over. We have seen what works. We have data. We have stories. The companies that are getting it right are already reaping the rewards. They are attracting the best people. Their teams are happier and more productive. The pressure to change is coming from everywhere. It comes from your employees, from new technology, particularly artificial intelligence, from customers and from investors who want to see your business be a force for good. First up, let's talk about the robot in the room, artificial intelligence. AI is here to act as our very clever helper, not our new boss. Imagine having an assistant that can handle all the boring, repetitive tasks. It can sort through hundreds of CVs in seconds. It can schedule meetings without that endless email chain. It can even spot patterns in business data that a human might miss. AI should be a launch pad for human talent, not a replacement for it. The final decision must always rest with a person. The machine handles the volume and the data, while the person handles the nuance and the relationship. Another powerful area is using people data to make better decisions. This isn't about spying on your staff, not at all. Good data can act like an early warning system. It can show you which teams are feeling overworked. It can help predict who might be thinking of leaving. It can highlight critical skill gaps before they become a major problem. When leaders learn to read this data, they can be proactive, offering support where it is needed most. So, what is a simple first step? Do not try to boil the ocean. Start with a single, clear dashboard. Choose just a few important things to track. You could monitor time to hire, track the retention rate of your top performers, or measure progress in training programs. By focusing on a few key metrics, you can start using data to guide your strategy without getting overwhelmed. It is about making informed choices that help your people and your business succeed together. The old 9-to-5 in a stuffy office is starting to look a bit like a fax machine. A relic of a bygone era. Remote and hybrid work are no longer a temporary fix. They are a permanent feature of the working landscape. Offering flexibility is a massive advantage, but it requires thought. It cannot be a free-for-all. Decide which tasks truly need people in the same room. Creative brainstorms versus work done perfectly well from a home office. Clear rules around meeting times and communication are essential. Create a simple 3-level system for roles. Fully remote, hybrid, a couple of days in the office, on-site. Be clear why each role sits in that category. Train your managers for remote leadership. Leading unseen teams needs different skills. Build trust, communicate clearly online. Focus on results, not hours. Now, skills. Job titles matter less as roles shift fast. Underlying skills are what count. Think of skills as a portable toolkit. Hire for skills first. Build internal skill libraries to map talent. Move people into new projects and roles internally. Use practical tests. Use work samples. Ask candidates to solve a real job problem. Open the door to talented people without traditional backgrounds. It's about what someone can do, not just what is on their CV. Leadership itself is getting a much-needed makeover. The old top-down command and control boss is fading fast. Thank goodness, today's best leaders are coaches and supporters. They build trust and share decision-making. Their job is to empower their teams, giving them autonomy and confidence to do great work. A few hours dedicated to practical coaching skills can make a huge difference. Teach leaders to delegate effectively by providing clear context and trusting their team to deliver. Your culture is not a poster in reception. It is the sum of what people do and say every day, built through small, consistent habits. Make purpose clear and connect it to daily work. Try simple weekly rituals, a wins of the week shout-out or a quick customer story. A strong culture is a continuous practice, like tending a garden. Great companies serve employees, customers, and communities, not just profits. HR is moving from administration to strategy, the grand orchestrator connecting people, technology, and data to enable skills-based careers, well-being, and flexible work. The time to act is now. These shifts are happening right now in 2026. Companies that embrace them will win the race for talent. Do not try to do everything at once. Pick 1 or 2 predictions. Start a small pilot. Involve your people. Use data to measure and learn. The key is to take that first step. With courage, curiosity, and steady action, you can build a workplace that truly flourishes.